Now let me tell you one last thing about monopoly. That is price discrimination.
Now what is that?
We have assumed that the monopoly seller sells all units of its product for the same price. It is a single price monopolist. However, under certain conditions, a monopolist could practice price discrimination. This occurs when the seller charges different prices for the product it sells and the price differences do not reflect cost differences. There are three types of price discrimination: perfect price discrimination, second-degree price discrimination, and third-degree price discrimination. Suppose a monopolist produces and sells 1,000 units of good A. It sells each unit separately, charging the highest price that each consumer would be willing to pay for the product rather than go without it. In this case, the monopolist is said to practice perfect price discrimination, sometimes called discrimination among units. So, here, the first unit is sold at price X, second unit at a slightly lower price, third at an even lower price, and so on. If it charges a uniform price per unit for one specific quantity, a lower price for an additional quantity, and so on, the monopolist practices second-degree price discrimination, sometimes called discrimination among quantities. For example, the monopolist might sell the first 10 units for $10 each, the next 20 units for $9 each, and so on. If it charges different prices in different markets or charges different prices to different segments of the buying population, the monopolist practices third-degree price discrimination, sometimes called discrimination among buyers. For example, if your local pharmacy charges senior citizens lower prices for medicine than it charges non-senior citizens, it practices third-degree price discrimination.
But why a monopolist wants to discriminate prices?
Let me give you a small example. Suppose following are the maximum prices at which the subsequent units of a product can be sold. First unit, $10. Second unit, $9. Third unit, $8. Fourth unit, $7. If the monopolist wants to sell 4 units and it charges the same price of $7 for each unit, it is a single price monopolist. Its total revenue is $28. That is 7 into $4. Now, suppose the monopolist can and does practice perfect price discrimination. It charges $10 for the first unit, $9 for the second unit, $8 for the third unit, and $7 for the fourth. Its total revenue is $34. That is 10 plus 9 plus 8 plus $7. A comparison of total revenues with and without price discrimination explains why the monopolist would want to price discriminate. A perfectly price discriminating monopolist receives the maximum price for each unit of the good it sells. A single price monopolist does not. For the monopolist who practices perfect price discrimination, price equals marginal revenue. P is equal to MR. To illustrate, when the monopolist sells its second unit for $9, having sold the first unit for $10, its total revenue is $19, or its marginal revenue is $9, which is equal to price. With this, I end my discussion. God bless you, my child.
Thanks for Father, and I hereby promise you that I will try to maintain the computer operating system business as one of our flagship business, and will also use learning of this module in monetizing our political links for exclusive licenses, getting patents for innovative products, and in defining price and output in these kind of market situations.